The brand new Digimon 02 movie is now officially out in Japan, and we have our first wave of reviews and reactions courtesy of Japanese Digimon fans, as well as some reviews from media websites and content creators who were given early screenings of the film for review purposes. I'm excited to share that I'll be making a short trip to catch one of the US screenings of Digimon Adventure 02 the beginning in November, so I'll have a spoiler-free review and other 02 videos for all of you in the days and weeks after that. But for now, we'll go through what others are saying about the film right now. There are no spoilers in this video, so if you want to know what critics and fans are saying but are worried about stumbling onto spoilers, this video is safe. I've also linked to the full reviews in the description of this video so you can check them all out. Well, let's kick it off with Anime News Network, who in their written review gave the film an overall B+ rating, saying, quote, "There's a lot here for fans of the original Digimon Adventure 02 to love. On the one hand, it's a welcome change to have this team of heroes right back in the thick of things after being sidelined for much of Tri and Last Evolution Kizuna. On the other hand, it throws such a major wrench into Digimon lore that I can't help but feel more than a few people will be upset. For viewers of Last Evolution Kizuna, this feels a bit like deja vu. For years, fans have been trying to reconcile the fact that Kizuna's ending on the surface doesn't seem compatible with the 02 original anime epilogue. It seems the new film might not directly connect those dots like some are hoping, in some ways may take an even bigger departure lore-wise. So if you found yourself upset by Kizuna's story liberties, be prepared to maybe be upset again. I'll be sure to do a spoiler-filled explanation video when I can." Anime News Network also emphasized that much like Tri being a Mei story and Last Evolution being a Manoa story, 02 The Beginning is a Rui story through and through, focusing on another brand new character. Quote, "When it comes down to it, this film is about a new character, Rui, the first Digidestined. Our heroes serve as both audience proxy and a supporting force to help Rui in the closing chapter of his story." They also state that the movie is oddly dark. This should have been obvious from that trailer with the ominous happy birthday singing, but they say, quote, "Rui's tale is a Digimon-themed psychological horror story. This is not a movie about some big evil enemy that needs a hearty beatdown. It's a story about how the road to hell is paved with good intentions. The moral of the story is one of the importance of communication in any relationship." This is a change-up for sure from Kizuna's theme that seemed to be grow up already. That kind of rubbed some people the wrong way, since it's adult Digimon fans keeping the franchise alive by buying tickets and physical merchandise, so it felt a little strange and cutthroaty to tell that audience to give up on the things they used to like. This message, if Anime News Network is accurate about it being a story of communication, that seems more interesting, especially for a mature story. They end things by saying, quote, "When it comes down to it, if you're a fan who can accept the retcons and their implications, you'll probably enjoy this film. If not, you likely won't." Next, let's take a look at a more casual Digimon fan review. Big Gold Media on YouTube was selected for an early screening. They acknowledged that while they have a lot of love and nostalgia, they weren't super up to date on the latest Digimon lore, and that it negatively impacted their ability to enjoy this new movie. Big Gold Media stated that after watching the new movie, they have more questions than answers. They believe the new film will divide a lot of fans, that it seems to change a lot of things we knew to be canon, and overall is pretty confused. They don't go into spoilers, so it's tough to know exactly what the points of confusion were, but eventually we will know. Big Gold Media did praise the English dub, particularly saying how good it was to hear some of the voice actors from our childhoods reprise their roles. Of course, this is Brian Donovan's triumphant return to the role of Davis, and I personally cannot wait to hear that. They also point out that there's less action than they imagined a new Digimon movie having. Fair warning right now, this is not an action-heavy movie. This is telling a different story, a story that I didn't think I was going to get in the Digimon universe. I was expecting more of a fun movie, and it was super serious. It was hitting some stuff that I didn't think they were going to talk about in Digimon, but as the fans get older, the topics are going to be a little different. So if you're bringing a friend who is maybe a bit rusty on the lore and hasn't watched Digimon Last Evolution Kizuna, perhaps give them a recap on the drive over to the theater, or better yet, have them watch Kizuna ahead of time. I know I'll do a rewatch of that film before my screening. I also have a review and an ending explained video on the channel. Links will be in the description as well if you want to catch those. Next, Mark from With the Will was given the opportunity to see the film ahead of time and offer their review. If you don't know, With the Will is one of the longest running and highest quality Digimon fan sites with news recaps, podcasts, and forum discussions. I've interacted with the Will folks on Twitter a couple times and listened to their pods some weeks, and given his expertise, Mark's opinion on the new film was one I was really interested in hearing. They were largely positive on it, feeling it to be a worthwhile return to 02 while also acknowledging it's a Rui story. Quote, "It is the return of 02, which a lot of people, myself included, have wanted for a long time. It is different, at times uncomfortable honestly, but very good." With the Will confirms that, quote, "The film acts as a proper sequel to Last Evolution, following up on its ending. Much of the staff from Kizuna worked on this new film, so it very much does feel like a sequel project, and I'm happy to see that they feel intrinsically linked, like in the script." With the Will essentially notes that it wouldn't be 02 without a little bit of controversy and debate, talking about the movie's ending with no spoilers, saying, quote, "And like the series proper, it ends with elements that will for sure have people arguing at what exactly it means, what actually happened, and what it means for continuity. I'm anticipating a lot of strange and negative reactions to these apparent lore shifts and revelations from the fans, just like how we saw with Last Evolution Kizuna a few years ago. However, at the time I was pretty okay with how that film ended and didn't think it necessarily contradicted the 02 epilogue. Again, my Kizuna ending explained video will go into more detail, but based on what Mark is saying in this review, I sort of predict I will leave the movie with similar feelings to Mark. Obviously I haven't seen it yet, but based on these reviews and knowing what I like and dislike about Digimon stories, I'm thinking this is going to hit for me. Finally, in Japan, the film is out for everyone, not just media outlets, so I took a quick look at Japanese Twitter to see how fans are responding and reacting to 02 the beginning shortly after they exit the theaters. One fan wrote, "It was about 5 times more interesting than I expect." Another fan said it was exciting to see the evolution animations again after so long, but that they wanted more battles in the new film. This attendee said it felt like a full-on horror film in the middle, and also mentioned how everyone at their theater agreed that it felt very much like Eva, presumably referencing the level of darkness in the film. Another incredibly positive fan said, "Thank you God for screening this movie while I was alive. It was great." This fan commented on how they wish it wasn't so focused on the new characters Rui and Ukomon. They made a good point that the people coming out to watch this film are already old fans who are sold on Davis, Vmon, and the established 02 characters. They thought the new content was a bit too cheap for older people. Keep in mind, this is translated from Japanese. It's not exactly perfect, but they may have felt it was like a corny or cheesy story, for adults at least. One viewer warned that this is not a film for kids. Quote, "The depiction of abuse is quite painful, so it's best for children not to watch it, and even for adults who have experienced such things, I cannot easily recommend it." With those warnings aside, they did say it was insanely awesome. Finally, one particularly nostalgic fan said 02 the beginning was amazing to say the least. The characters remained the same even as time has passed. It cheered them up, and gathering in a theater with other Digimon fans where they could share their love of Digimon made them really happy. They couldn't stop getting goosebumps. I love this last review. It affirms how special it is to be in a theater surrounded by fellow fans of the thing you love, especially when that thing is a little bit niche. I saw Digimon Try movie 1 in theaters and movie 6 in theaters in Japan the first time I visited, and both were incredible memories I'll never forget. I'm really looking forward to watching the new film in theaters. I'll leave a link to where the film is playing in America. I heard in my last video that it's playing in more countries than I was aware of, so definitely search to see if your country is showing it. Still no Canada or UK announcements though as of October 28th, which is still a great big bummer. Anyways, those are just some of the early reviews of Digimon Adventure 02 the beginning from media outlets, a YouTube creator, as well as Japanese fans who saw the film in theaters. How are you feeling after hearing their thoughts? Are you more excited, more nervous? Be careful out there if you want to avoid spoilers. If I do spoiler content for the film, it'll be heavily marked with spoiler warnings, and stuff I do that is spoiler free will also be marked accordingly. Thanks for watching. Expect a review from me a few days after the US screening, so probably Sunday, November 11th will be my review of the new movie, spoiler free. Have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.